you mentioned earlier at the start that one of the key themes of Conference View was seeing the brethren get older visibly.
Yeah.
Um, what do you think of that? I only learnt this week, but I learnt that in the community of Christ, their apostles can retire.
Yes.
Um, and I only just learned that, but then I thought, oh, that's interesting. But
The presidents of their church can retire. In fact, he just did, and they've appointed a new successor president. And so, yeah, I'm actually friends with some retired, with a retired member of the Council of 12 Apostles in Community of Christ, and it's a very strange notion for Latter-day Saints to think that way, because we've had lifetime appointments really going all the way back to Joseph Smith. We haven't had a system of retirement among the apostles or first presidency. The thing is, we do for 70s. Right? Our members of the first and second quorum of the 70s become emeritus, actually at age 70. So there are some extensions, there are some exceptions to that rule, but so there's no inherent reason why we couldn't do that for the apostles and first presidency. There's nothing scriptural. It's a tradition, it's a practice that we've had going all the way back to the beginning days of the church. And so, it's on the one hand, there is great benefit to the kind of seniority, to the wisdom that comes with many years of experience. I mean, and just because somebody is in their 80s or 90s doesn't mean that they can't be dynamic. And President Nelson here is Exhibit A of this. But at a certain point, time does catch up to everybody. And in the 21st century, we can keep physical bodies alive longer than we can usually keep mental faculties sharp. And we've seen that in recent church history with President Benson, with President Monson. And so I wonder if at some point that this isn't me counseling the brethren. They'll receive the inspiration that they need to lead the church. But I do wonder if at some point that the Lord might reveal some other way to provide for this. We've seen this within the Catholic Church, obviously with Pope Benedict stepping aside and Pope Francis coming in, and people wondered how that would work, having two popes alive at the same time. Well, it's worked actually just fine. And
although saying that, if I can interject
yeah,
there,
yeah, yeah,
obviously Pope Benedict, and I wonder what Pope Francis thought to this, but Pope Benedict was quite openly critical
yeah.
of Pope Francis, and obviously I don't know if you read any of his the kind of posthumous releases, and he kind of wanted to save it until after he had died, kind of
Yeah, so it
criticizing the
wasn't
way of the
perfect. Yeah,
no,
it
yeah.
wasn't perfect, and what does it mean? What would that look like within a Latter-day Saint context? So I'm not suggesting it would be easy or smooth, but it does. The church suffers when the president of the church is incapacitated. And again, we've seen that many times in recent church history. The church just kind of stalls out. It moves along. The daily work of the church goes on, but there are certain things that just can't be done when the president of the church is incapacitated. And so, I just wonder if in the next few years or decades we might see some kind of change to that system or some revision to it.